biblical truth, which is this life.
Yeah.
And then that mortifies. It's by God's doing that fruit is manifested in your life. It's not by you hearing you should have fruit and then you go and bring it forth. Then that's by your doing. If you're blessed financially because you tithe, then whose doing are you blessed by? Yours or God? How can you say it's God if you're the one who did the tithing?
Yeah, right.
It's not God, it's you.
Right.
In Acts there too, it seems to me that he also is saying that we are the offspring of God, and of course in all the churches are we taught that we are sinful, have a sinful nature, and it denies our offspring coming from God. And then as a man thinketh, that's how he is, and on like that.
And that's a great point that's a great thing to point out that will make many people uncomfortable.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness, yes.
How could Paul call all people the offspring of God if they're born with the way we've described as sin nature?
Right.
Now what we can say is that Paul, I think, makes a point to call them the offspring and not call them sons. Okay? Because everybody coming from God, meaning that all are God's children, doesn't mean that all possess life. You see, that's the difference there. Right? And so people are born into the world needing immortality.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not born into the world evil with a sin nature. They're born needing life. That's how they're born. Needing life. Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing that we need.
Right.
We need life and we had death. We don't need to now confuse our identity with life and death, which is what the church has done a real good job of, which is why we've been in bondage so long and had to, spend so many years in this identity teaching. Man, listen, I love the identity teaching, but let me tell you something. The most powerful part of our identity is glory and immortality. That's the most powerful part of our identity. And now we've had to spend all these years just accurately expressing ourselves in a way that we could actually feel like, we can stand face to face with God and not feel ashamed. I mean, that's a sad state.
Yeah.
When the church is in the place where 99% of Christians can't even fathom the idea of standing in the presence of God and not feeling ashamed.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
stunning.
Isn't it? That's just an indictment on the message that we preach.
I'm so glad that God is turning that around and spreading the good news.
It is. It really is liberation.